last night's episode of AEW Dynamite was, in my over 35 years of watching professional wrestling, I thought was the single greatest 2 hours of wrestling television that was ever produced. And I'm not going to go into like mudslinging of the other company because those of you who know me out there know I don't appreciate the other company, but just sticking with what AEW did and what Tony Khan did and that tribute that they put together for John Huber, Brodie Lee, Luke Harper, whatever you remember him as, was incredible. And that 2 hour production that was put together on TNT last night was just incredible. Incredible isn't even a word that does it justice. And it was moments like that last night where you just feel in the wrestling community, like wrestling fans like myself, and to any of you out there that are also wrestling fans, at some point in our life, we've got mocked for fake fighting, watching fake fighting, men in their underwear, big muscle guys, like stuff like that. And to know that we, as the wrestling fan community, could watch that and get such a heartfelt appreciation that can only be truly appreciated being a fan of pro wrestling. Now, it's not saying that you could have never watched wrestling before and seen that and been touched, because it was a great, genuine story that's touching. A father passes away. Like, that alone is something that anyone can relate to. A hardworking man died suddenly, leaves children behind and a wife. You don't have to be a fan of wrestling, but where the full appreciation comes in as being a wrestling fan, a long-term wrestling fan, is just understanding that this was one of the good guys in the business. There isn't a bad word that anyone said about him along the way that I've seen, because let's be real, there's a lot of guys that could pass away in the wrestling industry, and you're not going to say like, oh yeah, he was a great family man, he was a nice upstanding citizen. Like, there's a lot of guys that you're just going to be like, yeah, well, he was kind of a scumbag. It's sad that he's dead, but he's kind of a scumbag. You can't say that with John Huber. You can't say that. And I mean, it breaks my heart. Me as a father, like my world has changed since I've been a father. I look at so many things differently. And just to see these kids, the one specifically, negative one, Brodie Jr., as he's now called, negative one, to see him get involved with the show, to cane MJF on the head and to see him smile about it, to know that they brought some happiness into this family's life after their breadwinner, their support, the husband, the father, whatever you want to look at John Huber as he just tragically passed away, that they could bring some happiness into this family's life is incredible. And it's watching this last night and saying, like, everything else that I'm a fan of, like just like any other medium, any other form of entertainment, it's like, it's very hard to do what you saw last night. Like, you could just say, like, whatever, a football player, baseball player, whatever, suddenly passes away. What really happens? You have a moment of silence before every game around the league, and then you just, figurative, in some cases literally, play ball. And you just try and get lost in the moment of the game, where this whole thing last night, every match had some sort of tie-in, some sort of just anything, like Luke Harper coming out, wearing the wife beater, wearing something that, Luke Harper, Lance Archer dressing like Luke Harper, wearing the wife beater in his match, and just little things like that, constantly seeing the armbands, etc. And a member of the Dark Order going over in every match that they were a part of. The whole night was about this one guy, where it's like, you watch a game, a football game, it's like, oh, it stinks that guy passed away tragically, but now I'm watching the other guys play, and I'm losing myself in the game, maybe, just completely slip out of the memory of the tragedy, and just get enthralled by the game. Whereas last night, it was a great wrestling show that kept Jon Huber in your mind for 2 hours. And I wish every great human being that passes could get something like that, but it's just so hard to do. But in the world of wrestling, it is possible. It is possible. And Tony Khan and AEW, they did it right. They did it right. And it was amazing. I am so glad that AEW got me back into pro wrestling, that I could see something this remarkable and be a part of it. And it just took my breath away. And I wasn't even expecting that much. I was expecting, it's going to be a solid tribute show. There's going to be guys talking about how great Jon Huber was and all that, but it blew my mind. It exceeded my expectations, and then it re-blew my mind. And just by the end, when his son, oh goddamn, when his son put Jon Huber's boots in the middle of the ring, oh, that's it. That was it. That was enough for old Archfiend. Damn, man. Damn, that did it. It was just I can't believe what a good job AEW did with this. And that, just like, even little things I found out afterwards, that Tony Khan, all of a sudden I got a Long Island accent. Tony Khan, I guess that was more of a New England accent. Anyway, Tony Khan bought the rights in perpetuity to Riding with Lady Luck by who's singing? Tom Waits. Bought the rights in perpetuity to that song, so that tribute package that you saw at the very end of Dynamite will always have that song linked to it. And what I'm guessing, that was probably one of Jon Huber's favorite songs. I mean, if not, it's still a beautiful song to put in a package, a tribute package. And buying the rights in perpetuity means that you can buy the rights to a song to use it and have it just be a temporary thing. Like for instance, the ECW pay-per-views that WWE did after they bought ECW, the 2 shows where they would have the Sandman come out to enter the Sandman. But now when you see those pay-per-views on the WWE network, you don't hear Enter the Sandman, because the WWE bought the rights to air them initially in the pay-per-view, but they didn't buy them in perpetuity, so they can't air them on any other rebroadcast of the product. But anyways, just a minor note aside, that Tony Khan dug a little deeper into his pocket just to make this more special for a longer time. I couldn't believe. I wasn't expecting to be all that wowed, because I've seen tribute shows done before, and I've seen tribute shows done very well before, specifically in the genre of wrestling television. But last night set the standard. Last night set the standard of how it should be done and how it was done. And I don't know. I just had to be another voice out there in the wrestling community, just saying, thank you, Tony Khan. Thank you, AEW. It was just incredible to see a great man honored to this level, because me and anyone else could only be so fortunate to have that much honor thrown at their grave when we're passed on. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about it here and get the message out there. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, go to AEW's YouTube channel. They got everything uploaded from last night, the tribute package, everything. Yeah, That is all.